Alrighty, what is happening with y'all? I know y'all see it. Y'all see the setup. You know, the lighting looking nice and fresh. You know, I got me a new setup because I constantly gotta put forth the best content for y'all. And today, I got a banger that y'all been asking for quite a minute now. This video is going to be about my weightlifting warm-up. For me, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes, but I promise you, it's gonna get your muscles firing, it's gonna get you feeling swole and flexy. So if y'all are in for that, well, I got a treat for you. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so as I promised, today's video is going to be about the warm-up I do for Olympic lifting. But I also add a little bit of variance to it depending on how I'm feeling that day and what I've done, all that kind of stuff. But if you feel that you're not necessarily warmed up for your workouts, or you're looking for some things to add in to spice up your warm-up, then trust me, this is the video for you. So now, hop up in the car, roll up to the gym, or just walk out my door into my garage. First thing I do is stretch a little bit. Now this stretching, real brief, maybe 2 to 3 minutes max. I will go over it, whatever's feeling sore or maybe extra tight, I'll do some stretches there, hold them from 10 to 15 seconds, then move on to whatever body part I feel needs it. And usually this is the leg, so I'll do all kinds of seated straddles, I'll do a lot of hip flexor and quad stretches. Now it is important that you don't overdo the stretching and take 20-25 minutes on stretching alone. Definitely focus the majority of your warm-up on warming up those muscles and getting your muscles prepped to lift weight. Now after I conclude the stretching to kind of get some kind of feeling in my body, you know, break up all the soreness, I move on to my 5-minute squat. Now if you've seen my training vlog videos, I know that y'all have seen me do my 5-minute squat club, and this is something that I got from Zach Tellender, Coach ZT on Instagram. I'll go ahead and tag him. But with the squat, it's always important to get comfortable getting deep down in those squat depths. It'll really expose where your tight points are, or where you need mobility work with. And so while I'm deep in the squat, I can be holding a rig, or I can just be freestanding, it doesn't matter. But some things to keep you active while down there, I like to do hip circles. I also kind of like to open my legs and then close them. So you want to increase that range of motion as much as possible so nothing feels foreign or tight when you're actually lifting weight. And then I also like to kind of push my knees over my toes and sway back and forth, target that ankle mobility as well. Following my 5-minute squat, I'll get up, usually just do a few little stretches, because if you're like me, work out in the morning, once you just hop into a 5-minute squat, usually things feel maybe a little stiff, or you just feel like your body needs to move around after 5 minutes being still in the same spot. And so I'll just do some things to open up my hips. Then this is when I start my general dynamic warm-up, just body weight. Now in this part of my warm-up, I really just go wrist down, targeting joint to joint, back to back, just doing different circles and things to increase that range of motion. Starting off with wrist circles, and then once I do about 10 to 12 reps of wrist circles, I'll move on to elbow circles. This one's a little funky and takes some coordination, but I promise you it's very effective. Then moving on to arm circles. These are big arm circles to really loosen up the chest, loosen up the shoulders, going both forwards and backwards, because we know chest, you can do about 10 push-ups and be sore. So it's important to lock these up because you use it in clean, snatch, really anything in lifting. Also, the majority of the body weight warm-up routine comes from my But the majority of my body weight warm-up routine comes from my Club Vero Beach's team warm-up that we all do together. But moving on, next are the chain breakers, the hug yourselves, the Michael Phelps, whatever you want to call them. Basically, this is another thing to open up your chest a little bit, open up the shoulders. You don't want to be too forceful with it, or you might tear something or break something or whatever. But then you kind of have the opposite where you move your arms up and down. Moving on from the upper extremities, next I'll do what I call around the worlds. And if you look at it, it's kind of like hip circles, except my fingers are interlaced above my head. But the real stretch here should be in your obliques, in your core area. It's pretty hard to stretch this area, and I feel like a lot of times it may be abandoned, but it's important because you use your core in everyday life along with every lift in weightlifting. So this is a good stretch that I like to do, and I notice that I usually feel really good after it. And then second to the around the world is just your normal hip circles. You bring it around town.
Bring it around town. Bring it around town.
And if you've noticed, I have a lot of stretches with the hips because it's the middle of your body, it's the trunk, everything spreads out from there, so it's important to have this right or everything else is going to feel off. After you do your hip circles, go down to my lower extremity, starting with air squats. Usually I just do about 10 of these. Sometimes I'll vary my footing, so I'll go either narrow or wider. Make sure you're getting nice and low, chest up, feet flat as always, just practicing that good squat position, because if you can't squat good with body weight, you're not gonna squat good with 250 on the bar. Then after my squats, I like to go into some different kind of lunges across the different planes. So starting with lateral lunges, I use these both as a way to warm up but also as a stretch. So I'll start by going back and forth, leg to leg, getting nice and deep into that lunge, kind of feel the stretch, but also that push off is what kind of gives you that warm up in the quads. And then I'll stay low in the lunge and go side to side, really to just stretch out the groin and hips. And it's hard to stay low while keeping that chest up and the feet flat. That will help you get a lot lower in the squat as well. So I definitely recommend doing those. And then after that, I'll come up and then do a few more lateral lunges, but kind of pushing off that foot to activate some of that explosiveness in the quad again. Then after that, I'll do your regular good old-fashioned forward lunges. Do about 15 on each leg, but I break it up so that I'll do 5 in your regular lunge stance, then I'll move my foot out, do another 5, move my foot out one more time, and then do another 5, and then I'll switch legs, do 5, 5, and 5 again to kind of get them boys nice and toasted. Finally, after the lunges, I'll move on to single leg RDLs. This is for the hammies, so I'll do my single leg RDL, then come up, kick with the kick with the same leg, kind of control the RDL portion, do it properly with your back flat, kind of keeping your hips level, then do the kick as a stretch. Then if you want, you can kind of throw in some ankle circles, neck circles, whatever you need to kind of loosen up, but that touches the majority of the main muscle groups and the different joints. Now you may be thinking, all right, cool, time to take bar. Not quite yet, buddy. So after just the body weight warm up, I do a few more things with the band. So starting with a mini band, any kind of mini band for cheap. Mine is a crossover symmetry band that I got for free at AO1, but any kind of one works. If it's super tight, you can put it around your knees. If not, you can also put it around your ankles. And I'll usually do just some things to kind of warm up the hips, warm up the glutes, trunk, all that. And so maybe I'll do some lateral band walks, 10 each way. Make sure you're doing it even each way. Then I'll unlock the knees a little bit, just do little baby steps, forward and backwards. Then I'll extend the legs, keeping them still, doing the same thing, baby steps, 10 forward and 10 back. And then if the band's not already at your knees, you can move it up there. And I honestly have no idea what these things are called, but you kind of just, with your legs, then you can go ahead, put that sucker away, whip out a bigger, longer band. This band's probably more commonly found in almost any gym that you go to. And with this, in case your upper body isn't quite warmed enough yet, I'll do some pass-throughs, locking out the arms, going back and forth, just open up the chest, not much reps, just maybe 5 to 8 reps. Then I'll do around the worlds 5 to 8 each way. Then I'll flip my hands over into a supinated grip so my palms are facing the sky. But that's when I pinch my shoulder blades back and just do some band pull aparts. These are really good for warming up that upper back because you need your upper back to be locked in during those lifts. And so I'll do 5 pull aparts just straight, then I'll put it at a diagonal angle, do another 5, then put it at another diagonal the other way, and do another 5. Sometimes, if I feel like my shoulders need a little more warm up, I'll do like some single arm strict press type things with the band, but you can get creative with it, but those are the things that I do. And so now, finally, after that, I take bar. Now, I did not include my barbell warm up in this video, but if y'all interested to see that one too, shoot, comment down below, and I might have to do that boy in the future. But I hope you guys were interested and learned a few things by getting a look, deep diving into the first 20 to 30 minutes of my training session. And just like any of my videos, I don't expect you guys to go and start completely emulating this to a T. Just take a few things that you might like and might want to add into your routine and just sprinkle them in. If you like it, keep it up. If not, you know what to do. These are what I found works for me. And again, for those who don't know, I've had 2 knee surgeries, so sometimes it takes a little longer for me than the rest of the people that I come in contact with to warm up. But this is to ensure that I prevent any further injuries, but also making sure that everything is firing the way it should be, and that when I pick up the barbell, it feels good and my reps feel fluid. Once you get to the most competitive top of the game in whatever sport you do, you want to feel good before every practice or training session that you have. But stay tuned, I have some content coming for you. By the time this video comes out, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know how I did on my competition. I competed last Saturday, so if you want, I might make a video about that, and we still might make a banger with the squad. So y'all might be in for a treat for the next video being next Monday, but I'll keep y'all updated on that. For now, just stay tuned for the Monday after next. 2 weeks, whatever video it is, it's gonna be a banger. Y'all keep going off. If you're not going off yet, what you waiting for? Do your thing, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Finish him. So even on total strikes.